Check, check. Can the remote media hear us? Sounds great. Good. Good evening. We are joined by DRX, excuse me. Good evening. We are joined by T1, who's coming off of their match against Vitality. I'm sorry, it's been a day. We'll begin with questions from the remote media, and then we'll move on to the in-house media. Please use the Zoom hand raise function if you'd like to ask a question, and then we will call on you. Does anyone have a first question? Brandon, may I lean on you for the first question?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll ask to whoever would like to answer it. Um, I'm Brandon with esports.gg. Sorry for the loss to T1. We'll just ask kind of how you guys feel about the super team comparisons, Vitality versus T1 going into this Korean super team, a global super team in EMEA. Do you kind of feel like you would be labeled as a super team yourselves? And how do you feel that might put pressure on you to perform throughout the year, especially now coming off this, first match loss against Vitality at Bangkok?
아무나 대답해 주시면 되는데요. 이번 경기 특히 퍼시픽의 슈퍼팀 T1 그리고 EMEA 슈퍼팀 바이탈리티의 대결로 좀 이렇게 포커스가 잡혀 있었는데 이렇게 바이탈리티와 같은 슈퍼팀으로 생각되는 거, 판단되는 거에 대해서 어떻게 느끼고 있는지 그리고 이 타이틀에 대한 부담감은 어느 정도인지 궁금하다고 합니다.
누가 할래? 내가 할게. 일단은 뭐 사실 그런 슈퍼팀이라는 그 명칭의 부담감은 전혀 없고요. 저희가 근데 오늘 경기만큼은 그 명칭에 맞지 않은 플레이를 하지 못한 것 같아서 너무 송구스럽고 저희가 그 슈퍼팀이라는 명칭에 걸맞는 플레이를 할 수 있도록 다음 매치 때는 어, 진짜 더 잘 다듬어서 오도록 하겠습니다.
There is actually not a lot of sense of pressure. I would say no sense of pressure with the name being referred to as the Pacific Super Team or Korean Super Team. But the thing is, I don't think we played up to the name today. And I guess coming off of today's loss, we would have to try to play up to the standards and up to the name Super Team in the upcoming match.
Thank you. We'll go next to Pedro Romero.
Yes, hello. Pedro Romero, independent journalist here. Likewise, sorry for the loss. I want to send my question over to Stacks, more specifically Stacks. Piggybacking a little bit off of the previous question, I want to ask you more specifically, focusing on this game. What do you think was the one thing that stood out, or the most important thing that stood out to you when it comes to facing off against a team like Vitality and all the challenges that they presented to you guys, and how you guys kind of move on from this to your next encounter or next match?
텍스 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 오늘 바이탈리티를 상대하면서 좀 어떤 걸 배웠고 오늘 승패를 가른 가장 중요한 요인이 무엇인지 궁금하다고 합니다.
배운 거는 지금 당장은 생각 안 나지만 VOD를 보면은 생각이 날 것 같고요. 네, 저희가 졌던 요인은 뭐 늘 말하는 것이 입만 아프긴 한데 그냥 총이랑 그냥 좀 실수가 너무 많아서 그냥 좀 짜증나는 뿐입니다.
I can't really think of a specific reason. I would have to look back at the VODs and we would eventually figure it out. But I think one of the things that differentiated the loss from the win today was, I don't know, we just keep mentioning the same thing. So it is very irritating, but I think it was being out-aimed and also making mistakes.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from End Poem. And if there's any in-house media that would like to ask a question, please start queuing up by the microphone.
Okay, thank you. This is Morgopedia Valor Club, and this question is for Buzz. I'll ask the question in Chinese first and then translate it into English. 那么看起来， Vitality 的 Dirk 选手用民居给你们造成了不小的麻烦，尤其是在 2-1的时候。那么，请问你作为队里的狙击手，如何评价他今天的表现？So it seems like Dirk from Vitality caused you a lot of trouble with his operator, especially in map 1. So as the sniper of the team, how do you evaluate his performance today? Thank you.
버즈 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 오늘 덕커 선수가 오퍼레이터로 1세트 때 좀 T1에게 많은 힘든 시간을 선물했던 것 같은데 같은 스나이퍼 선수로서 어떻게 생각하는지 그리고 덕커 선수의 오퍼레이터 어떻게 봤는지 궁금하다고 합니다.
일단은 그거 덕크 선수의 오퍼레이터 플레이 때문에 저희의 조금 모멘텀이 조금 끊긴 것 같고 그게 조금 바이탈리티한테는 잘 작용했던 것 같고요. 그리고 뭐 항상 느끼는 거지만 뭐 맞추기도 잘 맞추고 운영도 잘 하는 선수라고 생각해가지고 오늘은 돌크 선수가 바이탈리티 승에 큰 공조를 한 것 같습니다.
It's true that Durga and his operator caused our momentum to be lost and gave us a hard time to have a nice momentum going. And I think his operator plays really worked in favor of Vitality. And yeah, I think he's always very good with both his micro and macro. And today, I think he deserves a lot of credit for Vitality's win.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Pedro Romero.
Yes, I'm gonna send this one over to the coach. I mean, specifically focusing on the compositions for your team in this series against Vitality. We saw alterations or changes to, the team's regular comps in the two maps, more specifically focusing on the addition of Fade into the Bind comp and also the addition of Vice into the Fracture comp. What I want to ask you is sort of what is your overall view of the meta right now that enabled you guys to make a change like this? And also like what was the game plan, if you can share, of course, regarding said changes?
어텀 감독님께 드리는 질문인데요. T1의 조합에 조금 바뀐 점들이 있는 것 같아요. 바인드에서는 페이드가 나왔고 프랙처에서는 바이스를 기용하셨는데 이번 메타에 대해서 어떤 생각과 분석을 하셨기에 이런 변화를 줬는지 궁금하다고 합니다.
바인드 같은 경우는 메타의 변화 때문에 바꿨다기보다는 저희가 기존에 하던 조합의 좀 한계를 저희가 퍼시픽 리그를 진행하면서 느끼게 되었고 딱 개코를 쓰던 부분을 페이드로 바꿨을 때 그 정도 보완이 된다 생각해서 그렇게 해서 준비했던 픽이었습니다.
Well, in terms of the comp change on the bind, it wasn't to keep up with the meta or go along with the meta. We just felt that there was a cap with the old comp that we were running while we were playing the kickoff in Pacific. So we thought swapping out Gecko and putting in Fade in that slot would add a lot of value to our comp. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you. We'll next go to Morty from Sons of KS.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to ask a question. My question goes to the coach. I want to know what are those things that you think you need to fix first to perform better in your next match. Thank you.
어떤 감독님께 드리는 질문인데요. 다음 경기를 위해서 오늘 경기 돌아봤을 때 어떤 부분을 보완하면 좋을까요?
오늘 선수들은 인게임 내에서 홀적으로는 운영적으로는 다들 정답을 잘 찾아가지고 게임을 했다고 생각을 하는데 이제 다른 부분에서 저희가 좀 실수했던 부분들이나 그런 부분에 의해서 졌다 생각을 하고 있고 당연히 그 부분은 다시 선수들이 그렇게 똑같은 걸 반복할 선수들이 아니기 때문에 그 부분은 충분히 보완해 올 수 있을 것 같고요. 그리고 당연히 코칭 스태프들 쪽에서도 저희도 이제 선수들이 더 편안하게 게임할 수 있게 분석 같은 거를 잘 준비해서 가져오면은 저희가 이번 남은 대회 잘 할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Now, in terms of the communication and how we played the rounds out, we were good. They executed very well, but I think there were other mistakes in a lot of other aspects of the game. But I'm pretty sure when we go back, we'll talk about it. And these are not the players to be making the same mistake. They won't rinse and repeat. So I think we have a good chance of adding to our game and really becoming stronger. And now as coaching staff, we just need to prep a lot more and set up a good environment for the players to perform as much as they can and create a comfortable environment for them as well. And I think with those going through that process, I think we have a good chance of having a good run in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. I believe we have a question from the in-house media.
Hello. Shoto from China Gap. Thanks for the opportunity to ask. I wanted to ask Meteor about last year you had the opportunity to win a Masters championship while playing at Gen G. Now this year you're at T1, and I wanted to ask you if that fact you're at T1, which is historically one of the highest competitive organizations in esports, adds certain pressure to you in terms of wanting to win something, or if the fact you have already won just reduces that pressure. Thanks.
메테오 선수에게 여쭤보는 질문인데요. 이제 작년에 젠지에서 마스터즈 우승 트로피를 들어 올렸는데 올해는 T1이라는 유서 깊은 팀에서 마스터스에 참가하게 됐습니다. 이렇게 T1이라는 이름을 대표하기 때문에 더 부담감이 좀 더해지는지 아니면 이미 우승을 해봤기 때문에 좀 부담감을 덜 느끼고 있는지 궁금하다고 하네요.
부담은 느끼지 않고 있고요. 그냥 요즘 게임이 다시 재밌어지고 있어가지고 저희 멤버들이랑 합을 좀만 더 맞춘다면 저희도 충분히 우승할 수 있을 거라 생각합니다.
No, there's no sense of pressure, but I'm starting to enjoy the game actually again, once again. So I think if we really work on our teamwork and really perfect that, I think we have what it takes to win the whole thing.
Thank you. I believe there are no more questions. T1, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What are we seeing? I don't know. Oh shit. Oh, my microphone's on.
Yeah,
That's
your mics are
crazy.
hot.
Crazy. Where's Kimmy?
It's coming.
We don't need this.
It's because they're gonna speak online.
Do we have water?
Drums? What?
Do we have water?
We have Red Bull. Someone drank from it, and it wasn't me.
Is it open?
Bro, it's like 7 p.m.
Yeah, don't.
Durka, we're going to start by looking at your ace once the final player sits down.
Thank you. Can I have some water, please?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Thank you. I haven't tried yet. I had no time. Okay. Maybe I'll try after tomorrow.
Can you hear what? Can't hear it.
I think you need hearing.
Ah, okay. Funny good. Ah, Cox.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Loud is ready.
Maybe we can get a Coke as well.
Good evening, everybody. We are joined by Vitality, who are here to answer some questions. We're going to begin with a review of Durka's ace from the match. If I can point your attention to the monitor to the left side, and just any kind of thoughts on what was going on the team comms or anything about this play.
Oh my God, dude.
What's that? Jumping around. We heard the blood noise. Absurd. We jumped in the sun.
Yeah, I mean, I was on site alone. They stunned me, naded me. I'm giving fake cons one top side, and then I think Buzz runs around like in front of me. Nobody checks me, so I got like 2K from there. I don't know. I think I kept screaming, but at the same time screaming like chill to everyone while I'm the one stressed. So it was funny. And then when I get the forecast of planning, I was like, just give me the ace.
Thank you. We'll start with questions from the remote media, and then we'll move to the in-house media. Brandon, if you'd like to kick us off.
No, it's
Sure
Matt.
thing. Brandon with esports.gg here. I'd like to ask this to Les and Durka. They kind of mentioned it on the broadcast about how you guys are kind of on the brink of making history potentially at this event. Durka joining Chronicle as a 3-time Masters winner. You know, if you guys win, Les joining Saucy as the only Masters and Champions winner. So I'd just like to ask you guys your thoughts on making history, if that's an important aspect of why you play the game, if you're looking to kind of achieve those accomplishments, or if that's sitting in the back of your mind at all while you play these tournaments.
Yeah, I can go first.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't have really that back in back of my mind, really like Masters and stuff, because already won one. So it's like for me, I want like locking in kickoff, Masters. So for me, like the next step will be champions, and I think that's what we're aiming for ultimately. But I think getting achievement for Les and for the other boys will be huge too, also. But I think for now, like I don't feel like we're really focusing on it. We just want to play the best game we can play and show it, because we're kind of built to go for a long run to champs.
And my mentality is like play game after game, so I don't really care about like become this winner or that winner. Like it's just the next game. Like we're gonna see our enemy in some moments, and it's this next game.
Thank you. We'll move on to Pedro Romero for the next question.
Yeah, first off, congrats on the W to all you guys in Vitality. I'm gonna send this question over to Trex and Kicks. We there's been plenty of talk about like the inclusion of Dirk and Les, but I want to pivot to a different direction, just focus on those that are already been in the squad for a good while and are welcoming such players into the team for this year. And so what I want to ask you guys is sort of, well, how do you kind of look at the progression of the team with having to bring these two players in and having to, differentiate from what you guys experienced last year and having to rebuild in a sense to be at the position where you guys in? And of course, I want to ask Safe if he wants to answer as well, of course.
I mean, compared to last year, obviously we have a lot bigger names on paper. Like last year, we were just focusing on like small goals and just improvement throughout the year. Like we didn't have any big goals set for ourselves. It was more about just like how we develop as a team and as players. And this year there are, I guess, in some sense, higher expectations, like from the outside, but that's not a big deal for us. Like we just went into this year knowing that we have a really strong roster and we have good people coming in, both inside of the game and outside of the game, who have a good work ethic, and we just have to put that to use and make the best out of this year that we can.
Thank you. Safe, would you like to add anything to that?
No, I think he said everything. It's more about, like, for instance, it's like the long-term vision is like qualifying champs. Obviously, we have more expectations, but in my head, it's more like we have less coming from a different region, and like with his English and everything. And to be honest, it's really good, but it's more like integrating the guys into our team, because obviously it was me, Trex, and Kimi before, and like making them feel welcome is actually more important than any other thing. So by the time we get to champs, hopefully we're like super tight as a team, and I think that's the bigger picture. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll go next to Lucas.
Hello, my question is for Les. Can I make this question in português?
Go ahead.
Bom dia, aqui no Brasil já é dia, Les. Bom dia para você. Assim, você teve um ano meio complicado no Américas, né, no ano passado, mas esse ano você parece que esqueceu tudo, deixou tudo de ruim para trás e começou bem o EMEA, tá começando bem o Masters agora. Como tá sendo isso tudo para você de estar com um time novo, tendo os bons resultados, jogando sempre muito bem?
Cara, eu acho que em relação ao ano passado, é uma coisa importante para todos os jogadores ter essa experiência, sabe, de acabar perdendo bastante jogos assim na sequência e não indo bem nos campeonatos. Também, sério, foi uma experiência muito importante para mim, sabe? Eu consegui aprender muito com essas derrotas, com o meu antigo coach, com o Sadi. Então, cara, eu venho para esse time bem resetado, sabe? Não pensando que eu tava numa fase, sim, pensando que eu venho com mais experiência.
Beleza, muito obrigado.
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 Thank you. We're going to go next to Fernando.
Thank you very much. Hi, guys. Congratulations on the win. My question also go for Les. I'll also do in português. Les, Fernanda Guimarães, a gente já conversou algumas vezes esse ano e você vem tratando, né, dessa sua adaptação ao inglês. Você comentou, né, de que você ainda estava tendo alguma dificuldade após a final do kickoff. Queria saber, cara, como é que você está se sentindo, né? Você teve um grande jogo hoje, uma grande série, se sentindo muito confortável dentro do servidor. Como é que tá sendo pra você essa evolução, né? Cada dia, como é que você tá se sentindo após essas 2 semanas, desde que a gente conversou da última vez?
Cara, eu tô muito feliz com a oportunidade que a gente tá tendo, né? Porque, querendo ou não, é um pouco duro o campeonato do Valorant assim no início, porque se você perde 2 jogos, você já tá de férias. Então, eu fico muito feliz que eu tenho essa oportunidade de ir ganhando experiência. A gente tá no Masters, é muito bom para ganhar experiência, porque a gente evolui muito mais dentro de campeonato do que fora. Então, cara, eu tô realmente bem feliz com isso.
Obrigado, boa sorte. Thank you, guys. Good luck next match.
Obrigado.
Thank you. We'll go next to Morty.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations on the win today. My question is for the coach. We know that it's like difficult to find weak points when you win, and when you show this amazing performance that you show against T1. But what you will say that is something that your team need to do better in the coming matches, and where is the best thing your team do during the match against T1? Thank you.
In terms of improvement points, I think that's the beauty of these guys. They're always looking for different ways that they can improve across any map, any situation, anything. So finding holes and finding gaps is kind of our specialty. Like every single one of the teams really analyzes themselves, but also supports each other in trying to find different ways to, become better for every single match, every single time, every single situation. So it really isn't difficult for us to analyze what we can improve on. In terms of playing against T1, I think it's something that we always reiterate, but it's the idea of never giving up, right? We're pretty sure we're down like both halves to start off, and we just have this fighter's mentality where we know that we can always win any situation. And I think it's something that we showed off during kickoff, and these guys will never give up. And they will always make adaptations. They will always figure out solutions to any situation, and it's just a matter of when we do it, right? So that's definitely one of the biggest positives that these guys bring.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. We'll go back to Pedro for the next question.
Yeah, this question is gonna be more directed towards Safe. Kind of similar to what was just asked to Faded, but more so just like given the fact that there was plenty of like anticipation, I would say hype regarding, this affair between your team and T1, given that, for some people T1 is seen as like another super team over in Pacific. How'd you view the match? What do you think was some of the challenges that they presented to you guys in that match? And also in a general sense, what is your impression of T1 after, facing them today?
General impressions of T1. I mean, they put up a fight. Obviously, we got away with a lot of scenarios because my team is, we have some good players on the team. T1 as a team, they played really well, actually. We felt contested all the time. And I think they're the best team to play in the first game because that's the only team you can like really get warm against, like in terms of starting your tournament off and just making sure that like everyone is warmed up basically for the next. So I mean, in terms of T1, I think they're a banger team. Really banger team, actually. So I mean, it was nice playing them first, and yeah, it doesn't nothing special for us, I guess.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from either the in-house or the remote media?
Hello, guys. I'm Solera from VALORANT. My question will be to Safe. During pre-event press conference, you said when asked what will be the reason why you can win over T1, you said that the team has got vibes. So my question is, how strong is the vibes? Will it carry you straight to the grand finals? And who would you like to be your next opponent?
I mean, we had okay vibes this game. I'd say it like that. Like we started off with okay vibes, and then we got good vibes, but not the best vibes towards the end because like it was back and forth. So it was. I mean, we're riding on the good vibes, and I think that's what got us the W today. Just vibes, like usual. And next person or next team I want to play. For me, I said DRX because I think Mako is pretty cute. So I think Mako's cute. But I'm down for G2 as well because they're homies. Like if they end up winning their game, like both work for me, I guess, because G2 is like really homies. So yeah.
Great, thank you, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you. We had a couple more questions come in. We'll go next to V-Zone. Joao, go ahead.
Hello, I'm John from Visão, Brazil, and I'm asking less in Portuguese also. So, Les, você teve um impacto muito importante na Fracture, principalmente não só pelo MVP, mas também por conta de trazer o jogo de volta no lado defensivo. Vocês têm o Dirk, um jogo coletivo também muito bom, muito forte, mas apesar disso, você tem um impacto bem relevante. Você sente que, mesmo com esse jogo coletivo forte, um Dirk como duelista também indo muito bem, o seu impacto acaba sendo um pouco menor para as câmeras, assim, por assim dizer, mas os seus números estão aí para confirmar que você está se adaptando bem ao novo time. Ou você acha que seu impacto, ele, tanto dentro do game quanto nos números, eles são muito bons, da mesma forma?
Cara, a gente tem um time muito forte, sabe? Então não vai ser assim, eu vou pegar MVP todo jogo, coisa assim, sabe? Realmente vai ser um pouco uma disputa pelo MVP, igual era em 2022, eu sinto um pouco. Então, eu sinto que meu impacto ele tem que ser o impacto que tem que ser um jogador normal, que é fazer a parte dele, comunicar e fazer aquele splitzinho. Mas eu acho que a gente tem um time muito forte e todo mundo pode fazer parte do ser grande, bem impactante, sabe?
Obrigado. Good luck, guys.
Thank you. We'll take a question from the in-house media next.
Hello, I'm Shota from China Gap. This question I wanted to ask to Turkey. Last year when you swapped teams from Fnatic, there were, especially in social media, a lot of doubters about how would you perform this year in the new team, in the new roster, especially considering it's a super roster with so many good players, so many good names. I wanted to ask you what's your take on what those people or those haters used to say about you now that you have won VCT EMEA and are competing in the first Masters. Thank you.
I haven't seen really a lot of hate. I feel like a lot of hate went actually to the previous organization side rather than me. I think I instead got like a lot more support, and I think one of the reasons right now I'm popping off or feeling comfortable is because the boys like welcome me really well, and they made sure to let me play kind of like how I want to play the game, and just making me feel comfortable in my own role and stuff. So it helps with like say being ex-duelist too and stuff. So for me, it's like I'm just doing good and happy, and I honestly don't care what negative comments I got because I don't usually read that. I only read positive ones.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have one more question from Pedro Romero.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this one again to Safe. With all of the talk about super teams, whether it is about this one or other teams, or even those within the past, there's been plenty of like um intrigue and also discussion as to like how super teams are able to conduct themselves in a very uh um suitable way or in a very balanced way. And obviously, like in the past, we've seen plenty of past super teams try to do well, didn't work out, all that stuff, and then we see this one uh do well, this Vitality team so far in this year. So what I'm trying to ask you is that what do you think makes this Vitality team stand out in terms of having, you know, a super team, quote unquote, a super team from the past teams, and what do you think just enabled you guys to be at a very vibey kind of way so far in this season?
Yeah. I mean, first things first, we're not a super team. That's number one. I know a lot of people like using this word, but you earn the right to be a super team. You're not a super team just because you have some good players. That's one. Two, I think the difference is that we had a strong baseline. Like the thing is that people found a lot of success in their rosters because they had very good players, and the disparity in Europe specifically, like back in the days, there were very, very good rosters, but on the opposite side of the spectrum, there were very, very bad rosters. And now finally the talent pool has allowed for us to create teams with like more balanced rosters. And I think with Dark and Les coming in, it definitely like went up on our side at least, because like me, Trex, and Kimmy, we're insane. And it's just when you push the team to the next level, when you get players that are like on the same level as you as well, you can do a lot more things. And I think that's kind of what's happening, especially in the scene as well. We see it in other teams as well. We see it in KC, we see like Giants, I'm talking EMEA now, but generally like the talent is much, much different than before. And before, people just label teams super team just because like names, but it doesn't matter, and we cannot compare one with the other. And I cannot compare ourselves with NRG. All I know is that I have four really, really fantastic players with me, alongside with the coach. And I think what we do together is something that's because we're all so good at what we do. We're also good at our job. So that's the only reason we are good with the vibes. We're good with these things because we see all the scenarios in game, and we're all smart enough to make our own decisions and deduct these scenarios so that we're always having some form of advantage or ending up winning the round. And that's because of us. So yeah,
Amen.
Amen.
Vitality, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us tonight. This will conclude the press conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.